Greetings, all you Titan shifters out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you with yet another review of Attack on Titan. Now, we continue on where we left off, with Eren as well as Zeke continuing to peruse through Grisha's memories. And over time, we actually see something interesting that I didn't actually think about at first, and that's the fact that Eren is basically seeing everything that he already saw when he kissed Historia's hand towards right before the time skip, right before they finally went to the ocean, right before Eren declared when he pointed out across the ocean that once we kill our enemies on the other side of the ocean, we'll finally be free. He was seeing the waters of the ocean, which were supposed to be this miraculous and wonderful thing, as just yet another form of a wall, another barrier keeping him from true freedom. And I think that's where these ambitions truly began. That's where that change began. When he saw these memories that Zeke is trying to point out, hey, this is how your father manipulated you. Eren already saw all this. That's why Eren had that strained expression, once he touched Historia's hand. He already knew the truth of everything. He already had gotten his resolve through Grisha's memories. And as they continue forward, you see the massacre of the men who came to attack Mikasa and the Ackerman family. And Zeke starts to finally realize something more is going on with Eren. There's something deeper there. Eren tells him outright, look, you really start to kind of infer that, Eren was always brutal to a certain extent. That the thought of having his freedom taken away from him would always mean he would attack, destroy, consume anyone who got in his way. I also love how almost nostalgic Eren looks upon the visage of his younger self putting the scarf around Mikasa. It shows that, him pushing Mikasa away wasn't his true feelings, but he felt it was necessary, I believe. Now, whether or not this was the right thing to do, really very much comes into question as we continue to see more and more of Grisha's life, more and more of everything. Him, writing down the journal, writing down the information, creating the false bottom. And as things go on, it almost seems as if Grisha can see Eren and Zeke, like he's looking through time at them. And when Mikasa points out that Eren wants to become part of the Survey Corps, we get that scene where his mother was yelling at him. All these distant scenes that we saw peppered throughout the series, we're seeing them from a different point of view. And, the expression that Grisha has, during this, it takes on this ominous new face, as if he's come to this own realization, and there are these moments where he looks as if he's looking directly at Eren. And it's so eerie. Like those moments where it seemed as if Grisha was just kind of looking off into the distance. It seems as if he was looking at Eren this entire time. And as Grisha walks off, we see the moment where he comes to the realization that his home has been attacked. He knows not of what happened to his wife, to his children. And so we see that moment we saw, if you watched it previously, at the end of Season 3, Part 2, where he went to the races and said, please help us, do what you can, protect the walls. The Titans are attacking right now. My wife, my child, I don't know what's happening to them. And you have Historia's big sister, who previously had the founding Titan, speak up. She says, no, we will not escape our sins. Judgment Day is finally here. This is the fated day of everything. And while, Zeke kind of sides with her at first, that they're laying down. This is their punishment. This is the way things are supposed to be, which shows that Zeke still contains that connection to the royal family, that willingness to just lay down and die, just because of what they are. Erin is having none of it. And we see that rage boiling in him again. That same rage from the 2 years ago when, once again, when season 3, episode 2 ended, Erin's face, that hatred, that rage, that those people would just so willingly give up, just lie down and die as everyone was panicking and struggling to live. And Grisha, he's demanding, no, you must understand. There are wives, sons, daughters, lives. This isn't about sins committed in the distant past. These are about people living in the here and now. How can you say that this is atonement for people who don't even remember the sins that were committed? That makes no sense. But the young Reese woman speaks plainly that this is something that they will have to accept. It's unjust, yes, but this is the anger of the world they brought upon themselves. And if we die, then no one else will have to die. And my God, I love Erin's face right now because the seething hatred, the anger, it is so palpable. And Grisha looks directly back at Erin because it's just that intense. And Zeke catches on that Grisha can see Erin. He can sense his anger, his frustration, his hate. It's passing through the ages. And Grisha says that, look, I have the power of one of the 9 Titans, the Attack Titan, who has a very special power, a power that most don't really even know. And as Erin steps forward during this moment, it was Grisha talks about a power that could oppose the king's self-righteousness, as he calls it. The power to see through time. You can see in the past, the present, and the future. Erin isn't just experiencing Grisha's memories. He's living them alongside Grisha. And while the young girl says, I've never heard of such a power, that's because it was hidden away. I will take the original Titan's power and put an end to the royal bloodline. And as we see him go to stab himself to unleash his Attack Titan power, he ultimately can't do it. The thought of murdering children, he was a preserver of life. He took an oath to preserve life. He's a doctor. He couldn't go through with it. And Zeke, he's surprised, but no, we know he killed children. We know he killed the majority of the Reese family aside from the father in the story who wasn't there. This is the history. This is a fact. And as the Reese patriarch, the Historia's father, speaks out and says, kill him, you must end him now, the original cannot be defeated, you must kill him. And the entire family calls out to Frida, there we go, I was waiting to see her name, to Frida to kill him, to end him. Frida's stunned, she's shocked, she's in a lock because it's just like, well, he doesn't want to do this. He's not ready to do something along these lines. But Erin, he tells his father, he addresses his father, and his father hears the grim words of his own son to get up. Get up, father. Did you forget what you came here to do? Did you forget how your sister was eaten by dogs? Did you forget your need to avenge her? And Zeke, you can literally see Zeke shitting himself at this fact. Because it's like, wait, what is Erin doing? But Erin is laying into Grisha. Like, have you forgotten everything? The restoration movement? Dina? Kruger? You have to avenge them. You are an avenger. You can see the difference between Erin and his father. Erin was always this way, and Erin made his father this way. As the memory of his sister flows through his mind, Grisha does it. He hears that this is ultimately a legend that he started himself. This is a path he walked the moment he walked beyond the walls. But the moment he had the notion of being free, this is just the way it had to be. And he slaughters the Reese people. Everyone except the father. And as he makes his way out of the church with the syringe full of the spinal fluid and all that good stuff, he's devastated. He's completely appalled. And he cries out to Erin, "Was this enough? Are you happy now, Erin? Was this what it was meant to be? Can Eldia be saved now? Why didn't you show me everything? Why didn't you show me what happened to your mother? What happens beyond this? What happens next? Was there no other way?" And then Grisha sees Zeke standing before him, broken, despondent. He tells Zeke that the thing that Erin is looking for, that Zeke's wish will not come true. Erin is inevitable. He tells Zeke, who is bewildered by this, that I saw Erin's memories of the future. That something so terrible would happen. He looks upon his son, big and grown, apologizing for being such a terrible father, as Erin looks on, cold and emotionless. Grisha apologizes to his son for the suffering he gave him, that he never spent more time with his precious son. Zeke is just so taken aback by all of this. And he asks his son, Grisha asks his son with tears in his eyes, "Stop your brother. You must stop Erin." As we see Erin on that day, when he received his medal, when he touched Historia's hand, this was a moment where he was reliving through everything. This is everything he saw that day. The hatred, the rage. He even saw himself spurring on his father to commit murder. All those things that were swimming through Erin's head when he reached the beach. He was trying to process it all. His role in what Grisha had become. His role in the atrocities that were committed. And as Zeke breaks the connection, but they're still within the stream of Titan memories, Erin Coley says, "Oh, well, you haven't gotten to the part where I eat father." Zeke is just so taken aback that you made Dad eat the King of the Walls. You put us on the path, this path of war with the world. The Attack Titan would have power to surpass time. That you were able to influence Grisha from beyond your memories. All of this. That Grisha hesitated. Grisha saw something further down in the future. Something that you showed him. What was it? And Erin just says, I'm thankful to you, brother, because of you. It was you had a hand in doing this as well. Because of you letting me in on this place, I was able to change the flow of time. And as Zeke laments the fact that Erin's will come true, the image that he saw 4 years ago, because I forget that before the time skip, like almost 2 years passed as well, so it was a total of 4 years on top of everything else. And I always get kind of messy with that. But he talks about this fact that he saw his father's memories. He saw his future self. And he says, that view. What view was he talking about? The view of the sea? Or something more? There's something further down the line that we're not made aware of yet. But Zeke demands that Ymir make all Eldians unable to produce, and as she makes her way to the superflow of Titan energy, Zeke in vain almost, because it's an unmovable object meeting an unstoppable force, says, he told your father told me to stop you. I don't know what you saw in the future of Father's memories, what Father saw in your memories, but you're still powerless within this place because you do not have royal blood. But Erin presses forward, ripping off his fingers to free himself from the shackles that Zeke had put on him. But Zeke says it's pointless. Once Ymir has started to move, once the ancestor has made her way, nothing in this world can stop her as she moves towards the destruction of all Eldians. What an intense chapter. What a surreal chapter. The fact that Erin would be behind so many deep-rooted elements, not to mention so much of the first chapter makes sense now. Erin's tears, the way that Grisha was always so distant to his child. It wasn't because he hated his son, it's because he feared his son. That really tells you so much. And the fact that Erin's hatred has boiled to this point, not to mention what happens further down the line. What else could possibly go on? Because it already feels that things are getting so crazy, but at the same time, it shows that, hey, all of this connects. So many things connect. And if you don't even believe that, the fact that first chapter was titled To You 2,000 years in the future, that shows that this was always the plan. This future sight, this ability to see distant, far off memories of the past, the present, the future. The fact that what's his name? The owl was able to say, you must save Mikasa and Armin, because he could see into the future. And because of the possibility that someone else was influencing the owl's mindset. Who knows how many other previous holders of the Attack Titan have also been able to access these memories. And it really does make you wonder, what really is the end goal here? What is Erin trying to do? Something terrible, obviously, but man, it's still very hard to root for Erin because some of the stuff he's trying, the methods he's using, it's just too terrible, honestly. Like, I don't want Zeke to win, but it still continues to be hard to side with Erin, even knowing the truth of the situation. What happens now? Will Erin get his body back in the real world? Where does things go from here on out? It's really hard to tell. But one thing's for sure. Armin and Mikasa must still be saved. hopefully in this timeline. But from what kind of fate? Save them from what? And if that's the goal, what does that mean for Erin? Tell me your thoughts and theories and comments and feelings in the comment section below. Are you still able to side with Erin after all of this? Or are you kind of shaky like I am on where he's going with all this? I know I should have faith in our main character, but our main character seems like more of a villain than anyone else in this series ever was. If you liked this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below so I might better myself for future videos. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you never miss out on another Attack on Titan chapter review, which will come as soon as I can get to it. I know the next chapter is already out, but that's what happens when you try to squeeze in 2 jobs and making videos. You burn the candle at both ends. So I'm trying to get back on track still, constantly, but if you stuck with me this long, thank you so much. And if you want to find me on social media, just Google Duuz-Diz-Din. I'm everywhere, for better and for worse. And until the next video, just remember that sometimes memories can come from anywhere, and sometimes memory of the future can give you a little bit of deja vu. And whether or not you heed those memories, like a voice crying out for blood, will you heed those memories? Will you heed those thoughts? Or will you strike out against them and try to rewrite what has already been written? Some surreal shit right there. Until next time, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm going to bed. Bye-bye.